We've got lots of breaking news to get to tonight. We're going to begin with the arrest of two teenagers accused in a carjacking and suspected in several other robberies around town. One suspect is seen smiling, walking before our KSAT cameras tonight.
Yeah, San Antonio police say they flashed some kind of weapon around 1 this morning on Marymount before taking a 63-year-old woman's car. That's on the far north side. Police say 18 and 19-year-olds were then tracked down to the city's west side at a home in Sabinas. Officers tonight telling us it took hours to get the two teens into custody. Both teens are now under investigation in other robberies in the city as well. Also breaking tonight, another former Bexar County deputy under arrest. This follows another arrest within the sheriff's department just last week. 51-year-old Joel Chavez accused of lying in his report. Investigators say the case stems from a traffic stop in 2019 when Chavez claimed to see a controlled substance in plain view. The driver had camera footage from inside his vehicle that contradicted Chavez's report. Investigators say an illegal search of that vehicle was conducted.
We turn now to the end of the 20-year war in Afghanistan. Take a look. One picture capturing the very moment Major General Chris Donahue, the final American service member to leave Afghanistan today in the midst of a tense and deadly withdrawal.
The commander of the U.S. Army 82nd Airborne Division led the evacuation mission at the Kabul airport.
And there continues to be heartbreak associated with that withdrawal. The mission still leaving Americans behind.
Tonight, the chaos in Afghanistan continues. The U.S. State Department saying about 100 to 200 Americans who were trying to leave remain in Afghanistan, along with thousands of Afghan allies. President Joe Biden issuing a statement saying he plans to address the American people tomorrow, adding the decision to end this evacuation today was the unanimous recommendation of the Joint Chief. We know more than 123,000 people trying to escape Afghanistan, about 5,500 of them American citizens. Catholic Charities of San Antonio saying they've been asked to help resettle as many as 342 Afghan refugees.
To yet another developing story tonight. The storm is weakening, but it continues to deal damage. Tropical depression Ida on the move, causing dangerous flash flooding conditions in parts of Mississippi and Alabama at this hour. Mailboxes surrounded by water in Gulfport, Mississippi. Power outages also expected. Destruction spreading across Louisiana in the wake of Hurricane Ida. Texas teams deployed to help, some in San Antonio also stepping in to support communities there. Ida blamed for killing at least 3 people. That death toll expected to rise. Many communities still left in the dark due to power outages. The mayor of New Orleans, meanwhile, saying the levees and floodgates held there. That update coming after Hurricane Katrina left the area underwater 16 years ago after many of the levees and floodgates failed. The devastation hit close to home for one San Antonio family. His family escaped Hurricane Katrina 16 years ago. That man has since started a popular New Orleans brunch spot in the Alamo City. The Night Team's Japhanie Gray tells us how he now hopes to use his resources to help those in need.
It's hard to see your friends and family back home go through that because you know how it feels. And so it's hard to be away from that and not be able to help sometimes.
Local business owner and chef of Nola Brunch and Beignets, Peter Sipeston, was born and raised in New Orleans. He's feeling the devastating toll Hurricane Ida, which is now a tropical depression, is having on Louisiana, hundreds of miles away. It's a feeling he's had before as his family had to evacuate from Hurricane Katrina in 2005.
Not knowing where they're at, not knowing if they're okay, not knowing what's going on with the rest of the city, and then to only hear bad reports.
They survived that storm, and his sister still lives in New Orleans today. Because of Ida, she and her family have evacuated from the area, but they're still without power. Sipeston is relieved that they are okay, but says he knows the needs of those dealing with the storm's aftermath are high. For the past few years, Sipeston has been cooking with the nonprofit Mercy Chefs. Their mission is to feed the mind and soul of people in disaster areas.
So we get out there and cook like thousands of meals every day, just giving people hugs and laying hands on people that need it.
He's preparing ways to help the organization, which will arrive in New Orleans Tuesday, to start feeding thousands.
There's power in prayer. Help is on the way.
Now, Sipson says that his business also runs a nonprofit organization called Third Coast Charities. They're developing another avenue for others to donate toward disaster relief. Now, if you'd like to help, figure out how you can help, you can visit the story on our website at KSAT.com. For now, Daphne Gray, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Daphne. Now, emergency response teams from Texas also helping with the damage left behind in Louisiana. But as we said, Ida is not done yet. The question now tonight, where is Tropical Depression Ida heading? And is there anything else expected in the Gulf?
Meteorologist Adam Caskey joining us right now, tracking all of this. Adam, what does it look like?
Well, right now there's nothing else in the Gulf of Mexico that we're watching. I'll get to the disturbances that we're watching out over the ocean and in the Atlantic Basin in just a moment. This is the latest on Ida. It's a tropical depression. It's basically a bunch of rainfall and thunderstorms with the potential of severe thunderstorms on the right side of it here. That would currently be Alabama and then up into parts of Georgia and northward into the mid-Atlantic tomorrow. Now, this is moving off to the northeast and it's going to bring all that rainfall and moisture all the way right up the spine of the Appalachians and into New England as well over the next couple of days, leaving in its wake over 6 inches of rain in some spots. So it's basically a big rain event with some showers and thunderstorms. Here's what we're watching out in the tropics now. We have a tropical storm, Kate, that's out in the Atlantic, likely to stay in the central Atlantic. Then a new wave coming off of Africa, likely to turn into our next tropical cyclone over the next few days. And then this little area we're just watching for more long term with a slight chance of developing into something. We're talking 5 days or more from now. We'll talk more about our rain chances around here and how much rain some folks got today coming up, Steve.
Thank you, Adam. The second and believed to be final suspect found in that deadly shooting at the Boom Boom Sports Bar, 26-year-old Eduardo De La Rosa, arrested after a traffic stop on Southwest Military near Commercial Avenue today. We showed you his picture last week. 34-year-old Daniel Barragan also arrested in the case. Both of these suspects face capital murder charges. Police say an argument inside that bar on South New Braunfels spilled outside before 5 people were shot, 3 of them killed. Meanwhile, the TABC permanently canceling the liquor license for that Boom Boom Sports Bar. And now to an update in the case of a missing man who disappeared around Memorial Day. 35-year-old Kirk Jones, last seen on the northwest side. His motorcycle was actually found in a deserted area in Jackson County, Oregon in June. Tonight, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office investigating a body found about a mile away from where Jones' motorcycle was found. Jones' mother says a hunter made the discovery over the weekend. Investigators now conducting an autopsy to confirm an identity and a cause of death.
Turning now to the pandemic, more than 1,100 COVID-19 cases continue to pop up daily, according to the 7-day average. 11 new COVID-related deaths also reported. Over in our hospitals, a trend appears to be forming. We saw 1,466 COVID-19 patients in the hospital. Overall, since then, there's been a gradual decline. Tonight, 1,298 COVID-19 patients are in Bexar County hospitals. Tonight, the hope is that we have seen a plateau. Medical staff in rural hospitals also facing exhaustion and compassion fatigue as they ride out a third wave of high COVID infections.
I honestly believe that we're towards the back end of the curve on this one. I hope I'm right, because we can't take much more with this wave.
Hospital beds near capacity and patients who need to be transferred to larger hospitals kept waiting. Medical providers hope more people decide to get the vaccine as we gear up for the fall and holiday season ahead.
Uvalde County.
I had a conversation with a nurse today who was in tears because she's just tired. It's really hard to watch people not be able to breathe, especially when they're 20, 30 years old.
Medina County.
The staff have been working long hours, multiple shifts. Our hospital is not used to having this high of a census on this long of a scale.
Cameron County.
Obviously, people are getting fatigued, tired, compassion fatigue. It's especially hard when you see that, 90-95% of this was preventable.
All rural counties trying to stay above the water as hospitalizations surge.
If you are already short-staffed and then you have staff that become COVID positive, it takes even more of a burden onto the staff.
Beds in these 3 counties are at near capacity and there's nowhere to turn to. in Uvalde County.
We have some very sick patients that need a higher level of care that we can offer, but we can't send them out because there are so many patients taking up COVID beds throughout all of our region.
There's frustration from those in neighboring Medina County, too.
I think it's getting out of control, and I think everybody should be vaccinated.
The virus is very ugly. It's very mean, and it's taking a lot of lives. And I know that the vaccine is also scary, but, either way, it's scary. We have to make a choice,
Comal County also experiencing a rise in cases tonight. Those who haven't done so are urged to get vaccinated. The Public Health Department in Comal County encourages those with severely weakened immune systems to get a booster shot as well. Comal County residents can call 830-221-1150 to book an appointment. And by the way, the Archdiocese says they won't stand in the way of those in the Catholic faith and the COVID-19 vaccine and encourage you to get the shot. A crushed car and one woman killed. Officers finding an off-duty officer at the scene of an open can of alcohol. But why was this San Marcos Police Sergeant returned to duty? Our Defenders investigates next on the Nightbeat.
An off-duty San Marcos police supervisor speeds through a stop sign, killing a woman in a car. Despite admitting that an open beer can found at the scene was his, Sergeant Ryan Hartman was returned to duty without being arrested by police or punished by his own department.
The Night Team's Dylan Collier examines the botched investigation by multiple agencies, the concerted effort to limit transparency, and the lasting damage caused by someone who has so far virtually faced no consequences. A warning: this story contains graphic video.
Lockhart police officers responding to this rural stretch of road on a sunny afternoon in June 2020 encountered a horrific crash. A large Ford truck had sped through a stop sign near State Highway 130, mangling this Honda Accord, critically injuring its driver, Pam Watts, and killing her 56-year-old partner, Jennifer Miller.
They got me out, but they never got Jen out. She died 40 minutes later sitting in that vehicle.
The other driver, Ryan Hartman, seen here in the front seat of an ambulance after being treated for minor injuries, was handled with kid gloves, according to Watts' attorney, after officers realized Hartman was one of them, a police sergeant from the neighboring town of San Marcos.
I'm sorry this had to happen today. The vaccine is happening. You're in the same line of duty that we are.
And while Lockhart PD was ready to release Hartman from the scene with nothing more than a citation for running a stop sign, that changed after his truck was flipped back on its wheels. Officers found a double-sized 24-ounce can of Dos Equis beer, still partially full.
I want to cooperate, but at the same time, I caused the death of somebody.
After Hartman refused to provide a specimen of his blood, he was detained on suspicion of driving drunk. It's worth noting that for some reason, officers did not have him do a field sobriety test or submit a breath specimen, standard procedure before getting a warrant for a blood draw. That warrant, carried out more than 3 hours after the fatal crash, showed that Hartman had no alcohol in his system, raising more questions about why he refused to cooperate at the scene.
We wish that the police that responded would have performed a proper investigation.
Watts' civil attorney, Justin McMinn, says during a deposition taken earlier this year as part of a lawsuit filed against Hartman, he was evasive about why he was driving with an open beer in his truck, a violation of state law. Hartman, according to records, claimed the can had been in there a day or two while he worked on his buddy's ranch while quarantining for a possible exposure to COVID, before admitting that the scenario looked bad and was obviously an issue for him.
And he had an open container in his vehicle, and then he refused a blood draw. And you have, defendants every day in Hays County and the city of San Marcos that are being prosecuted for similar conduct.
A month after the crash, the district attorney for Caldwell County, where the wreck happened, recused himself after having previously worked in the same county as Hartman. The next month, Lockhart PD filed the case as a criminal negligent homicide, but didn't charge Hartman for the open alcohol container. Last November, Hartman was no-billed by a grand jury. So San Marcos Police Chief Stan Standridge called the crash victim, Watts, to let her know he was returning Hartman to duty.
called me on November 19th when I was sitting at my neurologist parking lot getting tested for my brain injury to see what my deficits were. And he was already telling me that he was putting him back to work.
What the police chief didn't mention, that despite the grand jury's no-bill decision, he and his department could still have taken its own action against Hartman, disciplining or even firing him, because they were still well within the 6-month window established by state law. But records obtained by us show that later Standridge took things even farther, this time telling the public that by the time of the no bill, that 180-day period had lapsed. That's false. Only 144 days had transpired. And again, there was nothing stopping San Marcos PD's internal investigation from playing out, while Lockhart PD's criminal investigation did, something Standridge himself acknowledged in May. Those same records also indicate the city council and mayor of San Marcos weren't formally briefed on Hartman's fatal crash until April of this year, 10 months since it happened, and long after Hartman himself had returned to arresting people on alcohol-related offenses.
I mean, he took an angel off of earth and has shown absolutely no remorse for having done so. He thinks he deserves to still wear the uniform and stand in judgment of others. And quite frankly, I don't get it, how no one appears to be upset with that.
For the defenders, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
Sergeant Hartman did not respond to a request for comment. His civil attorney hung up when reached on the phone for comment. Watts' civil lawsuit against Hartman is tentatively scheduled to go to trial in Hays County in January. That trial date could be delayed, though, due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Taking a look outside right now, live cam at 81 degrees. If you got showers today, Adam Caskey tracking possibly more.
Yeah, and if you missed out today, we have a few more opportunities this week, so we'll jump into those details. But some parts of the city actually picked up some decent rainfall, and we're talking over an inch and even a couple of inches up I-10 just north of 1604. Let's get to the map right here and take a look at it. Everywhere you see a color on the screen, the blue, the green, indicates where we had some showers and where the Doppler radar has made estimates of how much rain has fallen. But what you're looking at here are actual rain gauge measurements. Garden Ridge, 0.68. Selma, over an inch and a half. Chavano Park, about 1 1/3 inches. Stone Oak, about 1/4 of an inch, but you get up I-10, Leon Springs area, and over 2 inches measured there. Even Lake Hill's about 3/4 of an inch. So the rain was isolated. There wasn't a whole lot of it out there. The showers weren't necessarily numerous, but some of them were efficient rainmakers. 20% chances every afternoon all the way through Friday. So isolated, or the coverage will be limited. Let's talk temps. 95 was our high today. That's just about average for the day today. Right now we're at 80, but very sticky and muggy with that dew point of 74. Makes it actually feel like it's warmer than, or 5 degrees warmer than the air temperature. 70s in the hill country now. Even New Braunfels 79, Kerrville 76. Meanwhile, 91 in Cotulla. 85 Stinson, 73 now in Bernie. Wide-ranging temperatures are still impacted from where we actually got rain. Tomorrow we'll start the day in the 70s. Mid-70s for most of us by the afternoon, mid-90s, and it's going to look and feel a lot like what we had today. The rain isn't exactly going to pop up in the same spots, but we'll see some activity dotting the radar screen in the afternoon. Closer to 100 along the Rio Grande, of course, tomorrow, and even south down I-35. Lackland area about 97, Converse as well. Timberwood Park 94, and Lake Hill's a high of 96. Mid-90s, and the way it looks like right now, the next 7 days will stay under 100.
Thank you, Adam.
We'll be right back.
Hudson Carr is going to start Saturday against Louisiana. Casey will play in the game, and then we'll continue to evaluate from there. But that's the direction we're going to go in this weekend.
Well, new UTA head coach Steve Sarkisian leaving the door open on whose starting quarterback will be in the future at Big Board Sports. Word on who is going to be the new starting quarterback for the Texas Longhorns leaked out over the weekend, as you just heard, confirmed by first-year head coach Steve Sarkisian today. That redshirt freshman Hudson Card had beat out fourth-year quarterback Casey Thompson to replace Sam Ellinger as a new starting quarterback on the 40 acres. Became somewhat controversial after Thompson had done such a great job during the Valero Alamo Bowl, throwing 4 touchdown passes in the 55-23 rout of Colorado. But Card apparently beat out Thompson in fall workouts. But as you heard, Sarkisian made it very clear that Card is the starting quarterback against Louisiana this Saturday.
Hudson's a very talented young man. He's got great work ethic. He really tries to operate in the way we want to operate in. And just as I told Hudson and Casey, it's really not a knock on Casey. Both guys really started to perform very well after that first scrimmage. And, it was a tough call, but I think in general, you try to make the best decision for the program at that time. But again, that's why I think Casey's going to play in this game. We'll reevaluate after one game. Neither guy's ever started a game in their career, so we'll look at it after 1 week.
Sarkisian started his press conference by wishing the people of Louisiana well after having to go through Hurricane Ida. The Horns will be 9-point favorites when they host the Raging Cajuns on Saturday at Royal Memorial Stadium at 3:30 p.m. Up in Aggieland, a less of a surprise, head coach Jimbo Fisher announced that Haynes King beat out sophomore Zach Calzada to be the new starting quarterback for the Fighting Texas Aggies. King was Kellen Mond's backup last year, but due to Mond's success, didn't see much playing time. He did, however, lead his high school Longview to the first state title in 2018 with 4,500 total yards of offense. During his high school career, with 42 touchdowns, another 8 on the ground. But when the Aggies kick off their season this Saturday against Kent State, they will rely also on their defense heavily, anchored by former Judson standout DeMarvin Leal, who's not shy about bragging on the D-line.
This year we have basically the same guys besides Bobby Brown. So we have McKinley Jackson, Michael Clemens, Darius Jones, Jaden Peavy. Even got new guys coming in, the new guys that came in, Shamar Turner, Tamise. The experience that we have and the size is unmatched. And I definitely say that we have the best defensive line in the country.
There you go. Kickoff at Kyle Field set for 7 p.m. where the Aggies are 28.5-point favorites.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
One of the more popular Dallas Cowboy players is training camp has been Isaac Alarcon, who is from Monterrey, Mexico, fighting to make the 53-man roster. One reason why he's so popular is that the cameras from Hard Knocks have been following his family, his mom and 2 brothers, who have been in the stands cheering the offensive lineman on during the Cowboys preseason games, praying in the stands out loud for his success. Isaac was asked what he thought when he saw his mom on Hard Knocks.
I mean, I know that she's like that because she used to be like that when I was in college in Mexico. So in Mexico, the stadiums are a little bit like smaller, so I was able to hear like, oh, that's my mom, Right here, I'm just thinking like probably she's doing that.
Yes, I've heard my mom in the stands, too, in the past. There's a chance that the New Orleans Saints season opener against the Green Bay Packers could be moved to the AT&T Cowboys Stadium in the wake of Hurricane Ida. They started practicing today in Arlington, will remain there for the time being. Owner Gail Benson chartered 2 planes for the players and their families to evacuate on Saturday. The big game and our big game coverage Friday night. Next. The big game and our big game coverage this Friday night will feature number 3 Steel against number 4 Reagan at Lindhoff Stadium. That's after the Steel Knights manhandled Pflugerville-Hendrickson in their season opener, 35-14 at Lindhoff Stadium last Friday night, while the Reagan Rattlers dropped from number 2 in 12 South 12 to number 4 after losing their season opener to number 1 ranked Brennan Bears, 35-14. Now the 2 collide before opening district play next week for Reagan.
It was a great game last week, but we definitely need to fix on a couple things, even a couple things on offense, but definitely looking forward to getting after them.
They're physical. They're going to come off the ball. They got some big dudes up front, so we're going to have to stay low. We're going to have to be physical up front, and it's definitely going to be a fight in the trenches.
We definitely go into the game trying to play our brand of football. Instruction from our coaches, I think we should be fine. We play as a team, play fast and play physical, and we go out there hoping for the best.
It's good experience, get us ready for the district games. It will definitely be a playoff atmosphere because, they beat us last year, so this is going to be a way better game.
Rematch. Kickoff at Lindhoff Stadium on Friday night is set for 7 p.m. And the Hondo Independent School District has announced they're canceling all their football games this week out of an abundance of just in case, because of COVID. They had a game scheduled Friday night against Lytle, and that's called off.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back.
That does it for the Nightbeat. Don't forget Good Morning San Antonio at 4:30.
Have a great night.